I didn't tell you guys. I'd finally shaved the stubble off my face after like 6 weeks. I had full Corona beard going on.
Oh, man.
I had never done that before since I'd had to shave. I'd never gone that long without shaving my face. And I can tell you, after 6 weeks, I hated it. I was like, no. I'm to the point where, especially now because I have to wear a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just further irritating my face.
Yeah.
So yesterday I cut it all off.
Yeah, just like it's all down and gone. Yeah, I know. That's why I can only do a beard, like a whole beard, with the goatee for so long. Because then after a while, just the itching just gets to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, now you got your old clean face again, huh?
Yeah, but now my hair is long, so because obviously can't get a cut nowheres. You gotta get the number of that one stylist that Lori Lightfoot saw. Maybe she's still operating somewhere in the city.
Julie took a whack at my head, and with really good results. I mean, there are just a few areas that are a little wonky, but what the hell? For most of it, it's really pretty good. So she managed to actually, tame this head of hair, man, because I was looking like Einstein there for a little bit, man. Boy, it was getting long. Yeah. Chocolate cake.
All right, let's
get started. Actually, I got it. I'm 8 minutes in, and Jesus, I'm gonna run the record button. Okay. I just have all the more 8 minutes I got to edit out. So.
Oh man.
Well, we could just start from here. That's fine.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome. It's the news of the Squared. Welcome everybody. Hey.
Sorry about that. I just was gonna say that just means we have 8 more minutes that we didn't.
We didn't have.
Show. That we were gonna have, but yeah.
We got Jeff. We got Ivan.
Good Lord.
God. Oh my.
Who gave him a soundboard and why?
All those years I had the soundboard behind Studio B, and now Ivan's turned the tables.
Yes.
Where I'm running the board, and now Ivan's doing the goofy shit.
That's not true. Ivan's been doing the goofy shit all along, but
Ow! Damn! Ivan, don't run that.
Yeah, that one's a little bad.
Yeah.
Ivan, don't do that one again.
The podcast only dogs can hear.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Jeff, what we got for news?
Should we start with a friendly tip?
Yes, let's start.
Let's start with a friendly tip. So when making a sex tape, play Disney music in the background. That way, if it gets leaked online, Disney lawyers will have to take them all down. You're welcome.
There you go.
You know the scary part is they're not wrong.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they're Disney. They're savages over there.
Or use like the Simpsons, or you like Simpsons music or something.
Star Wars music.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, so there's your special announcement from the News of the Squared today.
Yes. A public service to you, our listeners.
Yes,
we appreciate
a public service. Or public service to you, our listeners, all 5 of you. No, I'm kidding. It's more like 10, maybe 12. So apparently, Ivan, are you aware? I'm sure you being the music snob that you are not thrilled with the musician known as Pitbull.
Well,
Mr. 305.
Pitbull is quite funny.
Okay, well, elucidate me. What's going on?
So apparently, that Pitbull yell that he does, it's now a trademark sound, and you better not use it.
Oh,
I say make it common, like the Wilhelm scream. Make it like that.
The rapper is. I'm probably not doing a very good on. Grito is now officially his alone, and other artists could follow suit. MGM's lion roar that we hear before every film has a sound trademark. The NBC chime has a sound trademark, and now Pitbull's signature yell also has a sound trademark. Joining the ranks of fewer than 40 sounds that fall under trademark registration protection. Pitbull's legal team believes that he has now trademarked I don't even want to do this, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
It is the first trademark call sign by a music artist. This is a very small sliver of the trademarks having to do with sound identification marks. Copyright generally applies to music with respect to the sound recordings and the music publishing. This is different. This is a signature yell, says Leslie Jose Zigel, the chairman of the Entertainment Media Technology Group at Green Spoon Martyr, and also Pitbull's general counsel.
Okay.
Pitbull's got general counsel. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Pitbull's Council of Generals.
General counsel, I kicked your ass.
Pitbull's Council of Generals.
Yeah, seriously, because that's what I was thinking about when I think about Pitbull.
We must consult the Pitbull Council.
Apparently, they authored an article published on April 18th by the NYU Journal of Intellectual Property and Entertainment Law. The article details how Pitbull developed his signature grito and what makes it unique enough to merit 2 trademark registrations, which were officially given on October 8th, 2019 by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. He is joining a very extreme exclusive club with relation to this, and that's because his yell is so predominant and so recognizable that we got a trademark on it.
Just like Goofy's falling yell.
Apparently, these sound trademarks are extremely rare. According to the article, there are more than 2.6 million active trademark registrations in the United States. Of those, about 250 active sensory trademark. Of those, about 234 are sound trademarks, and of those, 36 are familiar sounds or sounds without words, yet associated with a particular good or service. To obtain, for Pitbull to obtain this trademark, his legal team had to persuade the U.S. Patent Office that his yell is closely associated with the artist, that even his name is not uttered or is present, or automatically think of him. Well, you get the idea. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when CBS went to go put out Spike TV, and Spike Lee sued Spike TV because, well, my name is Spike, and everybody's like, come on, stop it. And I think they settled out of court, and Spike Lee got money.
Wow.
So yeah, I could go on a little bit more about the fact that Pitbull now has a licensed sound.
So Pitbull gets his own sound.
Yes. I wonder if he could use it on this new limo that we're looking at here, Mike.
Yes, a non-virus story. Yes, thank you. A story that has nothing to do with this fucking virus.
I don't think we have any virus stories this week, believe it or not.
No, I got a couple.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah. So someone turned a Learjet into a street-legal 42-foot limo, and it's for sale.
Oh,
yes.
They asked him for it.
Yes, someone has seriously turned a Learjet into a 42-foot street-legal, and you can purchase it. We call this street-legal Learjet, here we go, they call it the Learmousine.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's 42 feet long and 8 foot wide. Originally started as a Learjet manufactured by Learjet, obviously. Dan Harris is the main who started the project back in 2005. His team spent about 2 years coming up with a frame that could support the aluminum beast. The electrical system and full suspension were built from the ground up, making the small jet into a vehicle that is street legal is much harder said than done. And of course, covers all the car porn, all the, 42-inch, out of the 42-inch flat screen TV and 8.1 liter V8 engine. The Learmousine will be up for auction in 2020 at the Mecum in Indy. I doubt this has probably taken place now.
Yeah.
But later it might be an online auction.
Maybe.
The winning bidder will receive a custom-built 44-foot Iron Bull trailer, and the winner will also receive a 2015 Chevrolet Silverado that's powerful enough to pull it.
Nice.
There hasn't been a publication yet as to what the starting price will be, but we expect it to be outrageous. If this is too pricey for you, maybe you should check out the lifted street legal limo that was created with just $4,000. But yeah, that's like it's like a red Learjet. It's like almost like a candy apple red with a pair of almost looks like trike wheels on the front and back, with like the engines along the fuselage look like they've turned into speakers with lights in the back, and then the interior hatch on the side opens and you see like it's got like a flat screen TV and side seats that run sideways down the length of the vehicle.
Wow.
With all kinds of fancy graphics and lights and stuff built into it, with a TV in the back. Oh wow, that's cool. So yeah, it's pretty tricked out.
I just want to know how
ride.
to make turns.
It's very slowly. That's how you make turns.
Yeah, but how do you not take the wing? Well, I guess there really isn't a wing, is there?
There is a wing. It's foldable.
Is that what it is?
There's the vertical stabilizer, and then there's two horizontal parts of it that looks like they can fold up in case they
can't.
can't.
Does it say how fast this thing can go?
Speed, no. But
You
it has
say that
8.1 liter V8 engine.
so got a lot of horses. It's a V8.
Yeah, 8.1 liter V8.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about 0 to 150.
Of course, it talks about the sound system, but no talk about how fast this thing will go. Obviously, the engines don't work, the jet engines.
Boo!
Yeah, take it out to Utah and fire it up and make it like a land plane. So the Lear
Seriously,
Mazine.
I mean, what the hell's the point if you can't?
If it doesn't have engines, it can go fast.
Yeah.
It's not a real jet car. It's just like the body of a jet that they put wheels on it, and now it has a TV and stuff in it. So okay.
That's lame.
And a sound
It
system.
should go fast.
Yeah.
Don't go quick. Forget about it.
Well, what
We
it
got
doesn't
this
make
here.
up was it can't do in speed. It makes up for in sound because of it's like 17,000 watts worth of sound system in it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
what you're saying that Pitbull should do is yell through that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Lear Mazine Pitbull plane. You trademark that
you know
too,
he
Pitbull.
would.
You trademarked that.
Yeah, you should. All right.
So, we actually go to Twitter for this one. I had heard a little bit about this. So the museums of, I don't know if it's just America or the world, are kind of battling it out on Twitter for the creepiest object that they have in their collection.
Oh, man.
So if you go on Twitter, it's hashtag creepiest object.
Okay.
Okay.
And they start putting out creepy objects. Like this one is from something called the Bell Museum, from the Department of Creepy in our education collection. A naturally mummified pigeon sealed into the wall of a building. This pigeon died desiccated, and then its feathers were eaten clean by insects.
Nice.
This is from somebody named Christian. There's one here. It's a Krampus claw from Bavaria. It's an accessory to a Krampus costume. Here's one from Sweden. It is a stuffed lion from the Royal Gripsholm Castle.
Wow.
When presented to the King of Sweden with a lion, when it died, it was stuffed and mounted. However, it has never actually seen a lion before. Let's see. The Museum of Witchcraft has plenty of weird objects. This taxidermy fox.
Wait, this is like,
with a wax death mask.
wow.
You get the idea. So if you go on to if you go in and you do this, you're gonna find all kinds of things that they're trying to battle out about who's got the weirdest or whatever. So there's that.
It's like a demented Ripley's Believe It or Not, man. You know, people find all this weird shit.
Yeah, stuff that you see like on the History Channel.
Yeah, you know, that whole thing. I got some pretty wild album covers. You know.
Mr. Boyle, you actually posted a story this week too, or a couple.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I guess I'll read it then.
Well, the hashtag weirdest object was. Yeah, if you want to read it, go ahead. This is your gig, Ivan. Or Jeff, you just lost your premium Pornhub, so now you got to hear these harrowing tales of
harrowing tales of things like breast implants saved a woman shot in the chest.
That's right.
A woman's life was likely saved by her silicone breast implants after she was shot in the chest at close range while walking down the mean streets of Toronto.
The mean
Okay, let's just stop.
Well, Toronto does probably have some seedy neighborhoods like any other city.
Oh, come on, Toronto.
Oh, yeah, eh?
Hey, don't you know I got a gun, eh?
Hey, just had a
with the hockey stick, but I'm
the hockey stick.
30-year-old's left breast implant deflected the bullet away. What is she, Wonder Woman?
Oh, no.
Like, do the Wonder Woman pose? And
She didn't
just bounce off
lift her
boobies?
bracelets. No, she lifted her boobs.
That's incredible, man. That shit. That silicon's a mother. If you catch a bullet with it.
Well, 30-year-old's left breast implant deflected the bullet away from her vital organs into the other breast.
Wow.
According to the study published by Sage, in the Sage Medical Journal, the incident, which occurred in 2018, is one of only a handful of cases where a woman was saved by her breast implants, and believed it to be the first of involving silicone ones. The study said the patient, who was not named, went under local emergency department in a Canada city after feeling pain in her chest and then seeing blood. Yeah, that would be a clue. The surgeons found a single entry wound. If it had been, you get the idea. So yeah, apparently this woman had her breast that was saved her day. She's saved.
Wow.
That's some serious boobies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see what else.
On the left hand, yeah, it says here in the article, it said on the left hand side is the heart and the lungs. If the bullet would have gone into the chest, she would have had a much more serious, possibly life-threatening injury.
Wow.
Saved by boobs.
Amazing.
Sometimes like a bad. I mean, you can sometimes when you see the fake breasts. Sometimes when you especially from the under boob, like underside,
or the side boob.
The side boob too. You can see sometimes you can catch it too.
The trick is you gotta be careful that it's not a moob.
The sag.
That's right.
Side sag boob.
Let's see what else we got. What else we got this week? Where are we at? Hold on. Oh yeah, we are kind of hit the sports a little bit for this one.
Yeah, you can go to our previous episode of 97 and 96. We talk about The Last Dance on ESPN.
Yeah. So there's that, but I think we're going to be able to talk about sports a little bit. So the NFL held their draft this past week, and
was it Ivan?
I said he says that he was talking about the draft, and I said, did they close the curtains?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So, I don't know if you caught any of the NFL college player football draft, and so they were showing all of the different, all the different coaches and general managers and what was going on in their homes and whatnot because they're doing it virtually. So while ESPN was showing the coach of the Titans house, which was a guy by the name of Mike Vrabel, who at one point played for the Patriots back in the day. Apparently, someone wasn't paying attention or something along those lines, because there is someone that you can spot in the picture and in the video that's all the way in the back, that's on the crapper.
How can they? Why would you have the door open to the shitter? This is the NFL draft.
So if you look closely on the Squares page, you can see literally it. Now, in fairness, you really kind of have to look at it for it a little bit, but it is better in the upper left-hand corner. If you go and look at it, you will see the guy literally on the crapper.
Yep, there's the bull.
There he is, right
Oh,
there.
it's the reflection. Oh, it's a reflection.
Yeah, it's a reflection.
Okay.
But you can literally see the reflection of the guy in the crapper.
Sitting on the throne.
Sitting on the throne.
It's dead.
So, yeah. Yeah, that would never happen on the Lear limousine. That would never happen.
Yeah, the Lear limousine doesn't have a toilet.
Yeah, no. For that kind of money, it should have a toilet.
Well, I was thinking this. I'm thinking the same thing. You think like that should have a bathroom?
You'd at least have breasts that can have like
bullet-resisting breast implants.
Yeah. Put a big giant bra on them.
While you're on the crapper during the NFL draft.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, the well dripped.
Okay, so Ivan, I got an article now. Do you or Julie do the grocery shopping?
Julie does most of the grocery shopping.
Okay. Now does she shop? Does she take a little bit longer than usual at the store? Or does she?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, apparently the mayor of Osaka, Japan, has gotten some flack from people because he says that men should do the grocery shopping during the coronavirus pandemic because women take longer at the stores.
Not wrong.
So the mayor of the Western
Not
Japanese
wrong.
city of Osaka, yes. He's come under fire on social media on Friday after saying women take longer than men shopping for groceries as he tried to promote social distancing to curb the spread of the virus.
You know what? I'm Jeff Stein, and I approve this message. I agree.
Yes.
I agree. I have taken my mom shopping. She is far too browsy. Far too browsy. And forget the plan. There is no plan. It's just like, like for example, if we need to get water, like the big, huge honking waters, it's like, let's go there first so I can put it on the bottom of the cart.
Yeah.
No. Let's go through the rest of the of it and load up the cart. So then somehow I have to take the stuff out of the cart
In order to put the water in.
Then put the water back.
Otherwise, it doesn't crush the bread.
Right, or whatever else is in there.
Right.
Or the eggs or whatever the fuck she picked up. And I'm like, and every single time I'm like, can't we do this first? No, it's not on the way. Oh, God. Mom, I love you to death. I swear I love you, but
So
it's like, you can't make a plan. It's like, guys think of stuff like this. Like, it's okay, if I'm going to have to pick up the water, I pick up the water first.
got to get the heavy stuff first and put it at the bottom of the cart.
Right. And then, obviously, if I'm going to get cold cuts or stuff like that or something like that, that's near the end.
Yeah, refrigerated and frozen stuff is last.
Refrigerated frozen stuff, absolutely. Yeah, that's near the bottom. Okay.
Right.
But the big, heavy, things like, the big like 32-ounce things of Gatorade and this stuff. That stuff goes at the bottom.
Right, beverages or whatever, like 2 liters or whatever.
Right.
So last Friday morning, there were nearly 1,500 virus cases in Osaka and the prefecture that surrounds it, making it the second hardest hit after Tokyo, according to NHK. Japan's government has declared a nationwide state of emergency, obviously, with this. So in Osaka, Mayor Ichiro Matsui has been appealing to people to take steps to reduce the risk of virus infections, but his remarks over gender shopping behavior stirred controversy. He says, when a woman goes, it will take time. Matsui said.
It will.
When asked by a male reporter about possibly reducing shoppers' entry to supermarkets to lower the risk of infections. If it was you, and if you were told to get this or that, then you would go directly and go home, he said. It's also fine for men to go shopping while avoiding contact. Because Matsui,
who is disagree.
Yeah. Matsui, who also said,
disagree with this.
Yes, obviously, and he says married couples should avoid going shopping together. I see that every day at the frickin' store. Like, this is not a family outing. This is not a family outing. This is not like a group activity.
No, I'm with you.
One person, one cart. Totally.
I love my mom to death, but this is all things that she does, and it drives me batty when we go.
Yeah.
You know, just like my favorite is clean the cart and make sure that it's been sanitized. There's a guy right there. He just did it. Do it anyway. What? But he just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what are you looking for? I don't know. What? Okay, let's do this in an orderly fashion. No, we're not going to do this in an orderly fashion. We're going to walk around the store, and you're going to be really, really slow when we walk around the store, so that it activates the injury in my butt, so it hurts like hell.
Has she run into acquaintances and started conversations with people in the store?
This has happened.
Oh my God! No,
that's happened too, but not while it's been. No, yes, actually, it has happened with the COVID thing, and she didn't social distance when it happened. And I'm like, that's not 6 feet, and she gives me a dirty look. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Do you want to get coronavirus? Because this is how you get coronavirus.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So
I know I'm going to get killed by women if they ever hear this show, okay? But I'm telling you, and I'm sure there are some women who aren't like this, but I'm telling you, women are browsy motherfuckers. Browsy.
Yes. So the mayor has drawn some ire on Japanese Twitter over the remarks. One user said Friday, Japan is a country where these words came calmly out of a mayor's mouth. Deplorable. Another user said the remark showed politicians don't think enough about what parenting, household work, and nursing involve. This has nothing to do with nursing, but
at all.
When I hear remarks like this, I feel the need for people to diverse backgrounds to participate in politics, the user said. Matsui actually got things the wrong way around, another user said, saying women needed less time than men when going out shopping. That is bullshit.
That's a lie.
I heard another comment about, I won't say where I heard this, but about like how men and women think. Like, men are hunters. Women are gatherers. Men, well, they know they have 2 things on the list. They're going to go into the aisles, grab the things,
boom,
and go.
Done, yeah.
Done. Out, done.
If something looks interesting along the way while we're going through those aisles, okay, fine.
Maybe only when we're standing at the checkout. We'll maybe grab an impulse item.
Well, not even that. It's like, okay, if I'm going to think about something along the way, I'm at least going to do this in an orderly fashion. Not, I'm going to walk to the one side of the store, then walk back to the other side of the store, then walk back to the other, all the way back to the other end of the store, okay? And we're going to do this like 5 times.
No.
That's...
No.
So...
Yeah, because...
Oh, wait, hold on. What am I talking about? We're both guys, and we're single. We have somebody here. Ivan?
Yes?
What is it like when you go to the store with Julie?
Okay, all right, here we go. Yeah, for the most of it, we're in Alska, but there are times when especially when Julie her mindset is if I have the opportunity to get it now, I'm getting it now. Which nothing wrong with that. Okay, the only thing is, results in a lot of bags of groceries.
Yes.
Theirs. Yeah. Okay, but I suck it up. I take the groceries up the stairs, but it's just like for me, when Julie says, "Oh, she sometimes she'll say, not all the time, I'm going to get a few things." Well, a few things aren't a few things.
Yeah,
but she gets stuff that's off the list.
Yeah, pretty much, or and I can't blame her. I mean, because she does keep bringing treats over this to me too, so I have to be fair about that.
Yeah.
But
and there are times like when Ivan and I have gone. He's gone with me when I'm going toy hunting.
Oh yeah.
Long ago when we didn't have to wear masks back in the day, where Ivan knows I go in, look, nope, not there. I go, we're done.
Well, it's just like,
in, out,
if you
done.
go to, like, a comic book convention or something like that,
yeah.
It's like, they're the people who, stop at every goddamn booth and look at every goddamn freaking thing in every booth, and then there are people who it's like, okay, I'm going to start on the one end of the building, and if this really looks like something of interest or something I want, then I'll stop. Otherwise, I'm not stopping. I'm just going to keep going until I see something interesting.
No, you keep moving. I mean, it's just like when I go record shopping and, I have a particular thing in mind, I gravitate to it, I rip through it, check it all out, see possibilities are, and then poof, okay, how much? Okay, thank you, and everything's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Well, it's been one time, I remember, one time I drove you to the Mammoth Music Mart, and you were just decided to, just sit and just go through whole boxes.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yes, he does.
I've seen.
But it's not. But we're not buying groceries in a pandemic, so I'm not upset about it. So.
Yeah.
Ivan in a record store is an entirely different.
Yeah,
animal.
It's different. Yeah.
That's like, I'll be here for an hour. I'll come back. We'll see if you're done.
Right.
Yeah, because it's just like you go in, you go out. But I think it's also too because. For whatever the ladies' intentions are, okay, yeah, for whatever they are, be they wonderful, be they want to just stay a little bit behind, they can. I mean, every woman's got their own groupie thing going on, but yeah, I mean, but if you had to match them one for the other, yeah, I think the guys are just a little faster than the girls. Yeah.
I'm sure there are some women who dispel that myth.
Yeah, and there's some men who dispel that.
Right. But
by and large.
Yeah.
In fairness, he shouldn't have said that out loud. But every guy, see, the problem is, every guy's gonna sit there and go, "Yeah, that's horrible." And privately be like, "Yeah, he's totally right. He's totally right."
Oh yeah,
he's dead on.
We're nurturing that because he's saying what everybody else fears to say. It's
like that one. It's like that one meme that's out there. It's like. When men go to the store and it's like a straight line and you like,
and when women go,
and then the women it's scribbly lines everywhere,
squiggly line that goes everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. It's like, no,
so okay.
I hear
so
you.
Speaking of going places, where are we going next, Jeff?
Well, apparently there's a new problem brewing in the beer industry. 1 million kegs are going to go stale.
Oh, that's not good.
Save the beer.
No.
Save the beer.
Send it to the lady who wants her Coors Light in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, seriously. Save the beer. So, apparently millions of gallons of beer are stuck in stadiums, concert halls, restaurants, and bars.
Yeah.
Are fast going stale, leaving the beer industry with a tricky problem what to do with all that booze that nobody will ever drink. Well, I got thoughts. The coronavirus pandemic forced U.S. bars to close ahead of the two biggest country's biggest drinking occasions, St. Patrick's Day and March Madness. Beer intended for those events is now spoiling in locked establishments, and the brewers are trying to get it back so the kegs can be refilled before lockdown lifts. Executives say the draft beer typically stays fresh for 2 to 6 months. And this a quote from the chief executive of the Beer Wholesaler Association. I didn't even know they had a beer wholesaler association. This is the absolute worst time for this to happen for draft beer. We've never seen any interruption like this where everything freezes in place.
And with
many
no, go ahead.
Many industries are wrestling with similar dilemmas about what to do with their excess supply, while the global economy recedes and the deadly virus rages around the world. Farmers are dumping milk. Air carriers are looking for places to park all their idle planes. Commodity traders are looking for floating super tankers to store an overabundance of oil. The beer industry is hunting for ways to deal with roughly 10 million gallons of suds abandoned in venues in March alone, according to the estimates.
2 words: swimming pools.
There's other thoughts I have, which is
yeah,
which is delivery happy hour. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with Memorial Day and some 4th of July festivities already been canceled.
Yeah, this could be. So someone had a really cool idea for when this whole thing ends, which is that they should combine St. Patrick's Day with Easter. So, like, we could do, like, drunken green beer, like, Easter egg hunts.
And a lot of people give up alcohol for Lent.
Yeah.
So after Easter, everybody's drinking.
Unsold and expiring beer could cost the beer industry as much as $1 billion.
Wow.
You know what the problem is? They don't have women shopping.
Oh, I thought I'd just get this 55-gallon keg of beer here.
Yeah, seriously. You know what? If they put it in the Lear limousine,
the Lear
that'd be
limousine,
perfect. Yeah. Fill the Lear. There you go. Fill that thing full of. Well, that won't go very far. Here's one that actually kind of fits what we usually do on on Squares of the Round Table. Get this. Dolly Parton secretly produced Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
Dolly Parton secretly produced Buffy the Vampire Slayer, an unexpected crossover of cultural icons. While Parton herself is not credited as a producer for the long-running fantasy series, the company she co-created and owned was responsible for it coming to television. Sand Dollar Entertainment, which is listed on the end credits of every episode, was created by Parton and her friend, former business partner Sandy Gallin, in 1986. It also produced a number of films, including Father the Bride,
with Steve Martin,
Fly Away Home, and also several Parton projects. Most recently, her Netflix anthology series, Dolly Parton's Heartstrings. It also produced the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie in 1992. It was Gail Berman, then executive at Sand Dollar, who believed that there was still potential in the property. That's amazing. So, Dolly Parton's been making, on top of all the money she makes on everything else, Dolly Parton's been making money on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the last.
Yeah, it's not just Dollywood and her touring.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
I still tell people about how Lucille Ball saved Star Trek. I still tell people about that story, like the normies.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna enter the more Dennis Rodman portion
with news of the sports.
Of the squared. Although, why don't we do this story first before we go to the entire Dennis Rodman trifecta of stories that we'll hang out with.
3 Rodman stories, not just one
We got
this
like
week.
3 Rodman stories.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
And they're all good. They're all really good. But we'll start here before we go to the Rodman stories. Ivan will get a kick out of this. And so will you, Mike. Woman mistakes NWO shirt for conspiracy theory, tries calling out Walmart. So the NWO is the New World Order, which used to be one of the big factions and is a
In
Hall of Fame
WCW,
faction. Is a Hall of Fame faction to the WWE Hall of Fame. So apparently, there was some new shirts over this past week that got put out, and one female Walmart customer took to Facebook over the weekend with a photo of the new World Order WWE T-shirt that they're currently selling in stores, which shows the classic 3-letter logo with 4 Life stamped underneath. The woman seemed to mistake the shirt as some sort of political statement being pushed by global elites, and later was deleted, but not before screenshots were taken.
That's right. The internet is forever.
Yeah.
This person now here's the exact quote. Now found at the local Walmart stores, global elites pushing for the NWO New World Order, which includes one world leader, one world religion, one world currency, and one world government. Time to show Walmart what we think. Hashtag support small business.
Well, we got an Alex Jones listener here.
Apparently someone did not catch what this really was. But okay, well, so there's that. And now we end News of the Squared with all the Rodman stuff.
Rodman story number 1.
Rodman story number 1. Dennis Rodman. So apparently, hold on, I'm trying to find it so I can read it in such a way where I don't give away the headline first. Here's one of his stories that is near incomparable level of pop culture acclaim. Rodman reached during his time in the NBA, as told by Chris Mullin. Now, Chris Mullin is a Hall of Famer who was a member of the Dream Team, was a member of the Golden State Warriors, and so this is what he told in an article. Mullin recalls the night in the early 90s when he was with the Warriors and Rodman was with the Spurs. That resulted in a brief but memorable car ride. Hang around the home locker room in the Oakley Arena, Rodman asked Mullin if he could hitch a ride to the team hotel in the Oakland Airport Hilton. No problem, according to Mullin, who lived in Alameda at the time. One more thing. Rodman wondered if it was okay for a couple of his buddies to ride along. Just hang on, Mullin until I'm ready to leave. Mullin says, quote, I had young kids then, so I had to move a couple car seats. No big deal. So all these little white guys pile into the car. I'm like, whatever. It's a 5-minute ride. I was going to Alameda, so it was a short ride. Later on, I find out it was Pearl Jam.
Wow.
At the time, they were called Mookie Blaylock. It was the group. Now, it's funny because Mookie Blaylock played in the NBA. They were Rodman's boys back then. So that's story number 1, which is true because Rodman did have a relationship with Eddie Vedder, and Eddie Vedder was a fan of Dennis Rodman. So that's really something.
Yeah, that's cool.
You
can get a ride with Pearl Jam.
Yeah, that's
just don't call him daughter.
Story number 1. That's Rodman's story number 1.
Rodman's story number 2.
Working on getting Rodman's story number 2. So we did talk about this story on Squares of the Round Table, which is so at one point in The Last Dance, they talk about Dennis goes on a bender on a vacation sabbatical in the middle of the season. And he's supposed to be gone for 48 hours. And he goes to Vegas, and it's a lot longer than that.
It's a week.
So the long and short of it is, this story comes from his then-girlfriend, Carmen Electra, and it was in the city of Las Vegas, and it has to do with Michael Jordan. So the Ford was given 48 hours to go to Vegas and let off some steam. That was something Jordan had warned his coach against, saying that if Jackson let the worm go to Sin City, he wouldn't make it back to the team on time. As Electra recounts, the period, it turns out, recounts the period is, it turns out that Jordan might have had a point. According to Elektra, I do remember being in Vegas with Dennis. It was on. The party was starting right away. One thing about Dennis, he had to escape. He liked to go out. He liked clubs. We go to his favorite nightclub, and then we go to his favorite restaurant. Then we go to a nightclub, and then we go out after hours. It didn't stop. It was definitely an occupational hazard. To be Dennis's girlfriend, he was wild. That's something when Carmen Electra says something like that. But to be honest, I didn't realize what the team schedule was. I didn't know he took a detour. Realizing that Rodman was back from Vegas and not made his way back to the team, the Bulls tasked Jordan with getting arguably the best defensive player back with everybody else. Rodman lived across the street from the United Center, and unfortunately for Elektra, Michael Jordan came at a rather inappropriate time. According to Carmen Electra, there's a knock on the door. It's Michael Jordan, and I hid. I didn't want him to see me like that, so I'm just like hiding behind the couch with covers on me. Mm-hmm. So apparently, Mike caught Dennis and Carmen doing the thing, and to take it a step further, in the final story of the night, and the third and final Rodman story. Apparently, there are other stories very, very similar to this one, which is so Dan Bernstein recounts from the Score recounts that this wasn't exactly the first time things like that happened. It wasn't, according to him, it wasn't uncommon when the Bulls went to Rodman's place to track him down for practice. Usually, it was the assistant athletic trainer Wally Blazey's job to go find Rodman. Former Bulls center Will Perdue said this recently, and it was always an adventure. According to Will Perdue, that happened on numerous occasions. You've obviously heard the voice of Carmen Electra. Well, Wally always tells a story about how one time when Dennis wasn't at practice and Phil felt it was necessary for him to be there, he sent Wally to get him. Wally went up, knocked on the door. The door was kind of cracked. He knocked on it. It opened even further. He heard a female voice say, "Hello," and Wally said, "Dennis." And then he heard a female voice say, "Wally." And then Carmen Electra came to the door, opened the door, standing right in front of Wally, and was buck naked, who stood there and had a casual conversation with him.
Oh my
Keep in
God.
mind, we're talking about like one of the hottest women on the planet for the time frame.
Oh my God.
He said he took everything in his body. It took everything in his body not to stare at her from the neck down. He was looking at the wall. He turned around, and eventually Dennis popped out, and they went to practice. He also talked about how Dennis's living room was basically a bunch of mattresses. She thought nothing of it. She just stood there, door open, and had a conversation with Wally naked. He was just like, well, this had to be hard to top. That happened a lot.
Oh, something was hard, all right.
Yeah, that too. The reason why Phil was so successful with Dennis was he just told Dennis, we don't always need you at practice, but the days we do, you'll know, and if you're not here, we'll come get you. Or apparently you'll run into Carmen Electra. And the scary part is, like I said, I recounted this on the Squares Around Table podcast about how after the Bulls won one of their championships, I can't remember which, it was either Channel 2 or either CBS or ABC, because it was definitely Tim Weigel was part of it. And they did this celebration, and Rodman brought these women that were absolutely hot at this nightclub, and it was a whole big thing. It was a celebration thing. And there was one that basically, like, she's flirting with, like the sports guys from the station, and she was just amazingly gorgeous, this blonde. And we find out, like, 3 days later that apparently she's transsexual. So, yeah, Rodman...
Hi.
Yeah, so, yeah, there you go. So,
Not everything is as seemed, Daniel-san.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, baby.
So, okay, yeah. So you can hear all these crazy stories. Obviously, we'll talk about episodes 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 of The Last Dance. As we've been watching it now as appointment television on ESPN now. So we'll be talking about that later on future episodes of Squares Roundtable as well.
Yes.
Yes, apparently so. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that. Yeah. And if people want to add stories or different things, or, hey, if you've got Dennis Rodman stories, we'll take them.
Or, any Carmen Electra pictures, please send them to Jeff.
That too.
Yeah, tell Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
We're on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm mourning. There's no premium Pornhub anymore. I don't have. It's bad.
Well,
it's bad, gentlemen. It's bad. I mean,
hopefully you'll still be able to see the bullet-resisting breast implants soon.
Yes.
There you go.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe. You know when you'll get new content. Of course, all these crazy stories we talk about here, it's on the Squares Roundtable Facebook page. Shout out to Scott. And then you can download these episodes on your favorite podcasting platforms: Podbean, Anchor, Apple, Spotify, Google. I think I got them all. Ivan's on Twitch. If you want to hear him spin his records, it's Jivan Ivan. GAVANIVAN on Twitch. And, of course, you can send us an email if you like. sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
So while you can listen anytime, whether you're in your limousine, whether you're shopping, hunting, whatever you're doing.
Or even if you're
gathering supplies.
Electro-naked.
Yeah. Watching, yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you're buying NWO T-shirts at Walmart.
Yes.
Yes.
All that and more.
Order. George Soros is coming for you.
Yeah, seriously. More like Eric Bischoff, but yeah. Vince McMahon.
That's right. Vince McMahon's coming for you.
So
that'll do.
For you.
Episode 47 of News of the Squared.
News of the Squared.
Yeah, man.